Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about a topic that what is project. Friend, this is a very important topic with respect to project management, especially if you are a student of PMP or planning to give exam of project management, especially PMPs in near future. So this is a very important topic. Or you are already working in any organization as a project manager, so you must have to know that what is project and what is actually the definition of a project. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start, friend. Friend, project is defined as a sequence of tasks that must be completed to attain a certain outcome. According to Project Management Institute (PMI), the term project refers to any temporary endeavor with a definitive beginning and ending point, and it produces a desired outcome, produces a unique output, product, and result. Okay, so that is called as the definition of a project. Basically, see, friend, project has two major ingredients. One is unique and second is temporary. Unique means that every project is unique, like its complexities, its scope, the relevant resources. So all every each and every project is unique. Whatever the issues you face in a project, you are facing it on the first time. Secondly, every project is temporary. Temporary means that every project has a ending point, like every project will finish at some point. So two very important ingredients: one is project is unique, second project is temporary. So these are the two very major ingredient or component of a project. For example, if you are implementing an e-commerce solution, so it's a project. For example, you are building a new flyover, so it's a project. You are introducing a new business process in any organization, so it's a project. You are making a new mobile application, so it's a project. So all these are the example of a project. Now, for the characteristics of a project. Uh, Main characteristics of a project are that every project has a starting and ending date. That means, for example, every project has some time duration. Like for example, project A will start in the month of July and it will finish in the month of December. So every project has start and end date. Then every project produces something new. Something new means that it produces something new which is you are creating on the first time. Every project has some boundaries means that it has some limited scope, limited durations, limited time, limited resources, limited funds. So every project has some boundaries in which we have to complete the project. Okay, then the every project is not business as usual. Like remember, friend, that any project cannot be business as usual. Business as usual mean operation. Like if something you are repeating one again and again, so it is not a project, it is a operational task or business as usual. Whenever we talk about project, remember that project should not be a repeatable task, it should not be an operational task. Every project is unique, is temporary, and it produces something new. It has some boundaries in terms of scope, time, cost, and every project is not as business as usual. So these are the very basic characteristics of a project. Then there are different types of projects nowadays available, like for example traditional project management. Traditional project means that these are run sequentially in phases. Like for example, first we will do the planning, and then the development, then testing, and then deployment. So these are the traditional projects type. Okay, then the agile projects, these are used mainly in software development. They are people focused and adaptive. They are also typically have short turnaround time. For example, friend, in the agile projects, what we do that we divide the task of a project, we divide the project into multiple tasks and deliver the task to the customer in a agile or iterative approach. Like for example, in the first month we deliver it first component to you, and then in the second month we deliver the second component to you. So basically we are not doing all the development or all the planning at once. We are dividing the project into multiple chunks. Then the remote projects. These projects are usually used by distributed teams that meet in person. Handing freelance contribution is an example of a remote project. For example, one team is sitting in Pakistan, one team is sitting in India, one team is sitting in USA, and both these types of teams are working together using, for example, Zoom, Skype, Basecamp, etc., and they are doing the project. Then agency projects. Agency projects are outsourced to an agency that is likely to have projects with multiple clients. And basically, agency projects means that you are referring to the outsourcing outsource component, outsource project. Okay. So mainly we have four types of projects: traditional projects, agile projects, remote projects, and then the agency projects. There are some boundaries of a project which we must have to discuss. Boundaries, whenever we talk about boundaries, basically we are referring to constraints. Constraint and boundaries are having the same concept in project. Boundaries means, friend, that there are some limitation that you cannot go beyond those limitations or beyond those boundaries. Like for example, project scope, schedule, people, resources. So what does it mean actually? For example, as per the scope, you have to deliver 5 modules. So in any case, you have to complete it with a particular scope. You have to complete the project in 5 months. So you must have to comply. You must have to complete the project within 5 months. You have, for example, only 4 people will be available. Only 2 types of resources will be available. So whenever we talk in that way, basically we are referring to our boundaries or constraints which we must have to follow, which we must have to adopt, and every project has some constraints and some boundaries. Mainly major boundaries are scope, schedule, funds, money, and resources. Okay. The project life cycle. Every project has a life cycle from which it has to gone through. Here the first stage is the initiation stage. In the initiation stage, we have to do the basic identification of a project, like what are the aims, objective of a project, why we are doing this project, what is actually the business case, why customer want to this project actually. So basic level of understanding, basic level of identification done in this phase. Then the next phase is the planning phase. In this phase, the overall planning will be done for the project, that how you will achieve the objective of the project, like what is the project management plans, what is the schedule, for how much funds are required, how much cost will be required, how much time duration is required. Then the execution phase, it is the actual phase in which actually you start developing the things, you start development of project. Then monitoring and controlling. Monitoring and controlling is overall throughout the project we are doing, like we have to monitor, we have to track the progress of a project, are we achieving that objectives or not. And then in the last closing phase, in the closing phase we close the project, we release the resources, we make the lesson learned documents, and the closing phase finish. So friend, thank you, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks for watching the video. Thank you friends.